Friends, welcome. Friends, good morning. I welcome you in Sarma Free Tutorial Hours. Please subscribe my channel for curricular studies and to learn English. Today I will discuss the story an Astrologer's Day written by R K Narayan. This story is about a roadside astrologer of a village of South India who is not a qualified astrologer, but he is a good analyzer of the human problems and like a psychologist who answers the question of his client or customers at the rate of 3 pies per question and earns daily wages. He belongs to a family of a rich farmer but ran away from his home because there was a charge of murder on him. In his adolescent age, he gambled and drank liquor and quarreled with his friend Guru Nayak. And they fought ferociously, where in a fury he stabbed his friend and thought that his friend was dead and threw him in a dry well in a field. Then he ran away 200 miles in south direction from his hometown and settled there. He married a girl there. He recognized his friend in night outside of the town hall park and saved himself, misleading cunningly Guru Nayak that his friend was dead, so he could not take revenge on him. So friends, this is just an introduction that how astrologer saved himself, where his friend was there to take revenge on him, in search of him, but he saved himself. So this story written in this way by R K Narayan about an astrologer who does not know ABCD of astrology, but he pretend to be an astrologer. So now we discuss. The daily astrologer opened his stall on roadside under a tamarind tree outside of the town hall park round about 10 o'clock. On the roadside, others also opened their stalls, say as ice cream, fried groundnut, cheap clothes, stolen hardware and junk. Magicians, snake charmers, medicine sellers also sold their wares and performed shows. Thus it looked a small fair or bazaar. In evening, they enlightened their shops with the light of flares, hissing gas lights, and naked flares stuck on poles. There was no street light arrangement by the municipality. As it was outside of the village, some vendors used cycle lamps in evening. Actually, it was a concept of a cheap market or hard bazaar, rather nicknamed Chor Bazaar 70 years ago. So it was trend in India that some theft materials were sold on a very cheap rate, somewhat outside of the village or town, Yeah, so many persons still call them as Chor Bazaar, but it is not mentioned as Chor Bazaar, but it was a very cheap market, hot bazaar, rather a small fair organized daily. Several vendors and petty material articles shop owners opened their stall around about 10 o'clock, and they attracted the mob there because all the materials were sold on a very cheap rate. So Astrologer used to wear a saffron turban and painted his forehead with sandal paste and a mark of a resplendent vermilion, and allowed to platter whiskers on his cheeks. So his get-up astrologer brought him divine glory. So he looked just like a God-gifted astrologer. Say, so people were attracted to him to know their future or fortune, as he looked exponent of astrology and prophecy. So he was a God-gifted astrologer, as just I tell you. Astrologer was having no knowledge of astrology, but he was shining as astrologer. He daily scattered cowrie sales, palmyra writings, and mystic charts on a mat around 10 o'clock, and surging crowd saw him idly. Some daily means only overlooked astrologer, some attracted, some but some overlooked also. So mostly people were attracted by the fried groundnut vendor, and magicians and auctioneers of cheap clothes and stall owners of stolen hardware and junk, etc. So there was a dean created daily due to this shouting of auctioneer of cheap clothes and groundnut wala, and some eatable items says ice cream, Rajas delicacy, sweet, and puddings were also sold. So many children were attracted there, and they also like to see shows of magicians and snake charmers. So it was somewhat a small, fair or hot bazaar outside of the town hall park there. So there was a tamarind tree, and whose branch emerging outside of a town hall park. Under that tamarind tree, astrologer used to sit there, and started his stall around about 10 o'clock. So astrologer used no flare or gaslight, but he was dependent on the gaslight of a groundnut vendor, or this flare of a groundnut vendor. You see, 70 years ago, gas light, hissing gas lights and flares or flare stuck on the poles were used in ancient India, there too, during 20 years ago. In Hard Bazaar during evening time, where there was no municipal street light arrangement. So it was night about 8 o'clock, and groundnut vendor blew out his flare and rose to go home. So it was a signal daily as groundnut vendor when blew the flare and he started winding off his equipments and groundnuts and baggage. Then it was a signal for astrologer that he also started winding up his equipments or paraphernalia, such as mystic charts, palmyra writings, or books of astrology and charts, and so on. So that was a signal. So what happens? Astrologer started to bundle up his paraphernalia, and there was a green shaft of light before him, only a very dim green shaft light coming somewhere from the leaves of a tamarind tree and some other bushes before astrologer, and all vendors here piled up their baggage, and they were going to their home. So light arrangement was not so good. It was semi-darkness there. So all store owners and vendors were winding up their articles, etc., to go home. Suddenly, astrologer saw a man standing there. As per his habit, he invited him and said, "You looked careworn." "Oh, stranger, you looked careworn. Come here and chat me. I may solve your problem, as I am an astrologer." The stranger did not respond. After a pause, he said, "You call yourself an astrologer?" Astrologer felt challenged and said, "Yes, I am an astrologer." As per his habit, he commented, "Yours is a nature, you are very rough and a rude person. Yours is a nature that you are in trouble." Stranger shouted, "Tell me something worthwhile." Astrologer, annoyed or piqued, and then astrologer annoyed and said to the stranger, "I charge only 3 pies per question. It is my fees. If you are having money, you have to pay 3 pies per question. Then I may tell you worthwhile or your fortune, whatever you wish to know." So stranger flung an anna coin to him and said, "I have to ask a question to you, but if you bluff, then you have to return that anna to me with interest, means 2 anna. No doubt I am having money and I am giving you this 1 anna, but if you are bluff master, you are here cheating me, or your precautions, fortunes, and whatever my past history, if you told wrong or false, then you have to pay 2 anna me back as penalty." Astrologer said, "If my answer is satisfactory, will you give me 5 rupees?" Stranger said, "No." Astrologer said, "Will you give me 8 annas?" Stranger said, "Okay, but if you are wrong, then you have to pay me rupee 1 as a penalty. If your forecasting and predictions, prophecy, and if you told my past history wrong, then you have to pay 1 rupee." This pact was accepted. Astrologer prayed to God, and stranger lit a cheroot. Astrologer saw his face in much light, as it gleams. When he just lit up the cheroot, in the gleams, this flash of much light, he saw the face of the stranger. There was semi-darkness, and the stranger was sucking cheroot very ruthlessly. Astrologer was nervous and said, "I am not to accept your challenge. Take your anna back. I have to go home, as I am late today." The stranger caught the wrist of astrologer and said, "Challenge is challenge. You invited and dragged me to tell my fortune. You have to tell my fortune or discharge all the money you earned today as a penalty. You discharge all the money." Astrologer started as his style. "Is there any woman in your life?" Stranger said, "No, stop this. and tell me I came here in search of a man, whether I will succeed or not. Astrologer said, now my fee is rupee 1. You have to pay if you accept that I proceed, or else you may do what you want to do. After haggling, they agreed. The astrologer said, you were left for dead, am I right? Stranger said, hey, tell me more. You are correct, correct. Amen. A man had stabbed you twice, astrologer said. Stranger opened his shirt and showed the scars in his chest. And he said, proceed. Astrologer said, you was stabbed and thrown in a dead well or dry well of a field as a dead body. Stranger said, I was thrown as a dead body, but some passers-by saved me. They saw me crying and sobbing in the well. I want to choke him. When shall I get him? Stranger clenched his fist. Astrologer said, he is in the next world. He died 4 months ago in a far-off town in an accident. His head was crushed under a lorry. Stranger did not believe in astrologer's statement. Astrologer proceeded. Guru Nayak. Stranger said, oh, you know my name. And he was taken aback. Astrologer said, I know all about you. Take the next train and go back to your home, as I see danger on your life, and don't come here again. If you follow me, you will live up to the age of 100 years. Just like a exponent of astrology, a clairvoyant, he predicted this, astrologer. Astrologer then took a pinch of sacred ash and rubbed on the forehead of Guru Nayak. Guru Nayak said, I wanted to choke him, but he escaped. However, he died 4 months ago, and it is a tragic end that his head crushed under a lorry like a coconut. He died in this accident. God punished him. He threw a handful coins and eloped. That stranger eloped, means Guru Nayak eloped, throwing a handful coin as he mitigated, and with this statement, this story, that his friend was died in an accident, and his head was crushed under the lorry, and he thought it was the punishment by God, so he eloped. It was midnight when astrologer returned home. His wife wanted an explanation of his late coming. Astrologer flung the coins before his wife and said, it is income I earned today. A man gave me, count it. His wife said, 12.5 anna. Oh, a good income, a heavy income today. Astrologer said, the swine has cheated me. He promised me a rupee, he cheated me, the swine has cheated me. His wife said, she will make sweet with jaggery and groundnut, as the doctor was asking for nice stuff. She said that, you are worried. What is wrong with you? Today you earn 12 and a half anna. It's a good enough in earning our wages. Astrologer told an antecedent after dinner, a great load is gone away from my head. In my adolescent, I fought my friend Guru Nayak. First we drank, then gambled, and when he cheated me, we quarreled and scuffled, then fought, and in a fury I stabbed him twice in his chest, and thought that he was dead. I threw him in a dry well near my field. I ran away from my house and settled in this town and married you, lady. I am son of a rich farmer. If I was there, I would be rich and toiling in field or tilling soil. His wife gasped, you tried to kill your friend Guru Nayak? What to think of it? A blood on my hand. Now Guru Nayak is alive. Astrologer yawned and lied on the payol to sleep. So now this is the story, friends. Now I just displaying here the verse note here. Cowrie. Cowrie means small cell. Obscure means hidden. Palmyra means writing about palmistry. Resplendent means very bright. Whiskers means hair on man's cheek. Surge means move forward. Dally. Dally means think idly. Means just like overlook, or you may say. Impetuous means act on impulse. Paraphernalia means personal equipment. Pick means feeling of offense or anger. Then discharge means give up. So this is a verse notes of astrologer. Now friends, I also prepared questions, important questions for you. So I just explain the question. Now question is here. How does an astrologer escape from the revenge of Guru Nayak? Astrologer. Answer. Astrologer is cunning, and when he saw the face of Guru Nayak in matchlight, so that glimpse when Guru Nayak lit up the churut in this matchlight, he caught the glimpse of Guru Nayak and recognized Guru Nayak, astrologer. So he recognized Guru Nayak and came to know that Guru Nayak came there to take revenge. As astrologer learned that Guru Nayak wanted to choke him because he was culprit there. He stabbed him twice in his chest and threw him in a dried well in his adolescent. But Guru Nayak was shared by the passerby. So in the adolescent age, astrologer stabbed his friend Guru Nayak and threw him into the dried well in his field and thought that he was dead. But he was shared by some passerby when he was crying and sobbing, and they heard and they shaved. So he thought that there was blood on his hand, means there was a charge of murder on his head. So he thought that there was blood on his hand, but Guru Nayak was alive. So astrologer misled Guru Nanak and said that his friend died 4 months ago in a far-off town crushed under a lorry. Hence Guru Nanak couldn't take revenge. As he punished by God, Guru Nanak did not believe an astrologer's statement. So astrologer said further, there is danger on him in this town within 24 hours. He may die, and gives him advice to Guru Nanak to catch the next train and return to his home and never come to southward direction in this town. If he follows his advice, then he will live up to the age of 400 years. So Guru Nanak, feared of death and danger, went back to his home, and astrologer protected himself or saved himself from the fatal attack of Guru Nanak. So this is the wit of astrologer, that this cunning wit, this cunning art. He saved himself, and he first of all guessed the danger that Guru Nanak wanted to choke him or wanted to kill him. So he told lie. He recognized Guru Nanak, and in this way he saved himself, misleading him, sending him to home back, and said that his friend was dead in an accident, and 4 months ago, and head of his friend was crushed under a lorry like a coconut. So friends, now here is my contact number. Just see. For further query, please subscribe my channel and comment also there too, in inbox or comment box, and you may do curricular studies and learn English and may build your vocabulary. So discussion over. Thank you for watching video. Good day.